It is 12 p.m. in the studios of K105.5 and 105.9 and across the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. This is the GBN Luncheon edition of news for today, Thursday, August 20th. Coming up in the news, police investigate serious Palmas crash, while Grenada monitors tropical wave. In the region, Trinidad police responds to multi-site bomb threats, while on the international scene, at least 15 killed in Russia strikes on Kyiv. While in sports, Stone John named new head coach of the Grenada senior men's team. And these are the headlines. The details to come. The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Bryden and Miners. Welcome back. I'm Joseph Cadore with the details. GBN understands that police are investigating last night's serious motor vehicular accident in Palmas, St. John. Upon contacting the Community Relations Department, our news team on this was advised that a press release will be issued shortly with relevant information and updates on the incident. Grenada is currently being affected by a tropical wave moving across the Eastern Caribbean. The Meteorological Service says the wave is along 61 degrees west-south and 19 degrees north as it moves westward at 15 knots. It is producing showers and isolated thunderstorms across parts of the region. However, no tropical cyclone formation is expected during the next 48 hours. The next tropical weather update is expected at 2 p.m. today. Now, this other story to tell you. Grenada has called for greater inclusion, capacity building, and safeguards in the use of digitalization and artificial intelligence to drought resilience. Jared Joseph has been following the 7th session of the Conference of Parties of the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification and sent this report.
Representing workers at the National Lottery Authority is expressing concern that operations have resumed despite unresolved complaints of unhealthy working conditions. The Technical and Allied Workers Union withdrew workers from operations last Friday over complaints of poor health quality resulting from mold and elevated carbon dioxide levels at the NLA's Carenage branch. Union President Andre Lewis is describing the decision to resume operations this week as union busting, arguing that the authority should have waited for the results of the environmental testing before resuming operations.
And therefore, the line minister and the ministry and the government must take responsibility for that. We see this as another aspect of union busting. This is health and safety. This is health and safety.
The NLA's advisory on the resumption of its scheduled draw stated that its closure on Friday and into the weekend was necessary to facilitate critical maintenance work at its draw studio facility, which is located at the National Stadium. When contacted, management of the National Stadium says it was not informed by either party involved about the concerns surrounding mold and elevated carbon dioxide levels. One source revealed that the NLA has been visibly engaged in deep cleaning the stadium office and new air conditioning system was installed. Reporting for GBN News, Shania McIntosh.
And that was, in fact, a report from Shania McIntosh regarding the current state of union conversations between the unions and the NLA. The Caribbean Court of Justice has immediately changed how its judicial panels are assigned, with all 7 judges now required to sit on every panel unless formally excused for a legitimate reason. The move comes amid ongoing scrutiny of the regional courts following allegations of panel fixing and concerns about the leadership of CCJ President Justice Winston Anderson. Anderson has rejected the allegation, but the new arrangement is being presented by the court as a way to strengthen transparency, consistency, and public confidence in its judicial process. An independent review of the complaints is also underway. That concludes our local news segment, which was made possible by Bryden and Miners.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
The hour of 12 o'clock. Stay with us for our second segment, which comes to you compliments Fortune Foods.
Have you heard about the region where law enforcement, as Trinidad to be exact, where law enforcement and emergency agencies recently entered a state of high alert following a series of coordinated bomb threats. These 11 malicious reports targeted various magistrate courts, a government ministry, and a shopping plaza within a narrow 40 minutes window. We get more in this and other regional developments from OCM's Dale Enoch.
Here now is your OCM Regional News. I am Dale Enoch. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is now investigating several bomb threats issued at different locations and over a 40-minute period. The threats were issued yesterday. The TTPS is urging members of the public to remain calm. In a statement, the TTPS last night said the threats were received through different modes. At the Arima, Princestown, Shogunas, Sangre Grande, and Separia Magistrates Courts. The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, the Val Park Shopping Plaza, were among places targeted. The TTPS said it immediately activated the relevant security protocols, heightened its security posture, and deployed officers to conduct the necessary checks. Investigations into these reports are ongoing. The service advised that members of the public should remain calm, avoid the affected areas where police operations are taking place, and comply with the directions of law enforcement personnel. And the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is reporting a 40% decrease in domestic violence incidents for the period January to June this year when compared to the statistics for the same period in 2025. Superintendent Roger Reyes, attached to the Special Victims Unit, highlighted yesterday the data during the TTPS's media briefing. He said there has also been a decrease in child protection offences and gender-based violence.
Based on the department's most recent analysis for 2026, reports of child protection offences have decreased by 9.4%, while reports of intimate partner violence have decreased overall by 40.3% when compared with the corresponding period last year. Comparable January to June 2025 and 2026 data also show a reduction in several reported offences. Reports of child protection offences, such as cruelty to children, have decreased by at least 33.1%, while reports of physical abuse associated with gender-based violence have decreased by approximately 35.7%.
Superintendent Reyes is also reporting a 40% increase in arrests for child protection offences. Superintendent Reyes said the Special Victims Department of the Police Service has strengthened its operational response through specialized trauma-informed investigations. And the Royal St. Lucia Police Force is saying there isn't enough evidence to proceed with the high-profile investigation into allegations against Castries Central MP Richard Frederick. Police Commissioner Vern Gard yesterday said there was a thorough investigation into the claims made against the MP.
I have currently with me the file from the investigative officer. I have gone through the file and I agree with the
Here now is your OC different modes. At the Arima, Princestown, into allegations against Castries Central MP Richard Frederick. Police Commissioner Vern Gard yesterday said there was a thorough investigation into the claims made against the MP.
I have currently with me the file from the investigative officer. I have gone through the file and I agree with the recommendation of the investigating officer. In my view, it's a very thorough investigation, though it was very complicated. Investigations like that, where allegations were sustained throughout a long period, in my view, should be given adequate time.
The police commissioner was not willing to reveal the allegations. The cases have generated widespread public attention and debate since they first surfaced. Mr. Frederick has denied any wrongdoing. And that's your OCM Regional News. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Dale. Well, our regional segment came to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited.
Before the digital age, before the world moved at the speed of a click, there was a signal connecting a nation. In 1986, a journey in broadcasting began in Grenada, a journey that would grow into a trusted voice across the country. For 40 years, through radio and television, we've been there for the stories that shaped our nation, the news that mattered, the voices that informed us, the moments that brought us together. Your stories, your voices, your moments. The Grenada Broadcasting Network, 40 years strong. One nation, one network.
National news and sports is next. Well, on the international scene, we find out that both Prime Ministers Mark Carney and U.S. President Donald Trump hailed a new framework trade deal, but neither side released details. Sources say U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, and autos will drop. Carney also asked provinces to restock U.S. alcohol. We get more from the CBC News.
A handshake and a plan. Canada hopes to dodge fresh tariffs and reset trade relations with the U.S.
We feel confident that we've reached an agreement that will not only continue to protect American workers, American jobs, American supply chains, but really strengthen the North American economy.
After weeks of meetings, Dominic LeBlanc left Washington with the broad strokes of a new deal. In a statement, Prime Minister Mark Carney congratulated negotiators, saying his government is securing the best terms in each of Canada's most important strategic sectors, but didn't say what those terms are.
So subject to the finalization of documents, we have a deal with Canada, and I think it's a very good deal for both parties.
U.S. President Donald Trump lauded the agreement, saying the deal has concessions on both sides.
Are you willing to lower tariffs on steel and aluminum?
Well, we're looking at that.
A source with knowledge of the talks says the steel and aluminum tariffs Trump imposed last year will be halved to 25%.
Well, continuing with the news, overnight strikes has hit an apartment building and warehouse across the Ukrainian capital, while a children's hospital and school were also damaged. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says Ukraine urgently needs more ammunition and air defense system from its Western allies. President Vladimir Zelensky has also warned that Russia will not seriously consider peace talks while Ukraine lacks sufficient air defense capabilities. The U.S. debt has surpassed $40 trillion, more than doubling in past decades, and that's according to Treasury figures. The debt stood at just under $20 trillion in 2016 and has continued to rise amid government spending and high interest costs. The Congressional Budget Office says the debt is approaching $4.1 trillion debt ceiling and could reach above $64 trillion by 2036. The growing debt has raised concerns about further interest cost and government's inability to manage its borrowing. Well, this is the story to tell you. Well, Prime Minister Andy Burnham has addressed questions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's security arrangement, calling them a private matter for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, as reports surface regarding their potential move back to the United Kingdom. We get more in this DWS News.
Ever since stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Harry's automatic police protection has been stripped, sparking years of high-profile legal battles over taxpayer-funded bodyguards. But as rumours swirl about the couple moving back to the UK, the Prime Minister is drawing a firm line, wishing the Sussexes well, but making it clear that funding their security is entirely up to them.
Well, this is a private matter. It's a matter for Harry and for Meghan, and we wish them well in the move that they're making.
Well, that takes us to the end of the regional segment. Sports is next. 19 minutes gone past the hour of 12 o'clock. Well, sporting fans, here's what we can tell you. The presidential race for the Grenada Athletics Association is now a head-to-head contest between Colin Peters and Jonel Mitchell, that is, ahead of Saturday's executive election. Peters, the Ministry of Sports coordinator, has extensive experience in athletics administration, including work with Grenada Invitational and School Track Championship. Mitchell is a GAA first vice president and games director and has played a key role in the association's day-to-day operation. The two are vying to succeed outgoing president Conrad Francis, who's completing his 4-year term. The GAA member clubs and stakeholders will vote on Saturday to determine who will lead the Grenadian Athletics for the next 4 years. Grenada under-14 boys, well, they produced a dominant performance yesterday, crushing the U.S. Virgin Islands 9-0 in the 2026 CFU under-14 boys challenge series in the Dominican Republic. The junior boys controlled their final Tier 2 Group D fixture, with Joanny Noel scoring 5 goals to lead the Grenada attack. The emphatic victory gives the young Grenadian squad a strong finish to the group stage and plenty of momentum heading forward. Now, this other story to tell you, the Grenada Football Association has appointed Trinidad and Tobago football icon Stern John as the new head coach for the senior men's national team. The appointment marks a sentimental homecoming for John, whose Grenadian-born mother connects him to the Spice Isle. John brings an impressive regional football resume to the role. The former striker in Trinidad and Tobago is an all-time leading international goal scorer with 70 goals and has extensive coaching and management experience across the region. He will now take charge of the Spice Boys as they look to strengthen their international campaign. The Antigua and Barbuda Falcon will host the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots tonight. That's at 7 p.m. in a crucial Caribbean Premier League matchup at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Well, both teams are looking for a victory to improve their positions in the points table. The Falcons will look to take a home advantage and to contain the Patriots' explosive batting lineup. Meanwhile, the Guyana Amazon Warriors, they secured a dominant 7-wicket victory over the St. Lucia Kings last night. The Warriors restricted the Saints to 151 runs before chasing down the target with 11 balls to spare. That story takes us to the end of the sporting segment. Here is a recap of the headlines. Well, here's what we can tell you. The police investigate serious Palmas crash. Grenada monitors a tropical wave in the region. Trinidad police responds to multi-site bomb threats. While on the international front, at least 15 killed in Russian airstrike on Kyiv. In sports, Stern John, they're named the head coach of the Grenada senior team, while the U14 squad, they're expected back this evening. And remember tonight, CPL action live on Classic Radio. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Joseph Cadore. Thanking you for joining us.